not only do we have us two here, but we have also welcomed two of our very special, not just internet friends, but also real life friends, which is very cool. Some people just stay in the realm of, we have actually met in real life. And me and you talk about how we bring our chats, our Facebook group message chats to the podcast. So we are going to bring the group chat, which is aka the craft, the whole shebang. And we're going to introduce. Yeah, we've had a bit of tech carnage before we started, so let's hope this all goes okay. Yes, lots of chaos. So I want to welcome the very wonderful Vivienne Johns and Emma Fowler.
Hello.
Welcome, guys.
Hi.
How exciting is this?
Oh, it's nice to talk in person and see your faces.
I know, no voice notes. Videos.
Just voice notes. Just a side note, it's so funny that like Aidan knows who everyone is because of your voices, and sometimes when I'm watching stories, he's like, "Oh, is that what Viv looks like?" Like he's put a face to, you know. It's so funny.
I think it's good that we've all got very distinctive accents.
Oh yeah,
we've got different accents.
That is easier.
You know,
yeah, that's true.
For the husbands to
get
regional accents. Yeah, for cats and partners and whoever is listening in the background. But we have different businesses, obviously, but we serve pretty much the same audience. So all of us are in the hair industry, or maybe a bit of hair and beauty industry. And we have similar business models. We're all online educators, do a bit of in-person stuff, speaking, brands, all sorts of shenanigans. But we have different skills. And when me and Hayley were planning this episode, we were talking about what everyone brings to the group chat. Because you can't come to the group chat if you're not bringing anything, all right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you get kicked out. You've got to pull your weight in the commune.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah, you've got to contribute. Yeah. And it was a bit sort of Spice Girls style, is what me and Hayley kind of landed on as millennials, obviously.
I'm a Gen X and me and Viv are X's.
That's true. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah. I was just sitting here thinking, isn't there 5 Spice Girls? No, is there 4?
Depends which era.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
I was like, actually.
Oh, okay.
Should we start by saying how we ended up in this group chat, Maddie?
Yeah. Yes. That makes sense.
So I think let's get Viv to tell the story, because I would say Viv is one of the main reasons this chat's happening, I think, as well. She's kind of like
she's the OG.
It all together.
The OG, yeah.
So Viv, do you want to sort of say how we all ended up in a chat?
Yeah. So, me and Emma were already friends. So we'd been friends for quite a long time, hadn't we, Emma? A few years before the pandemic. Couple of years anyway.
Yeah.
And we were kind of already in like group chats all over the place, because there's just how it goes down, isn't it? But Hayley connected with me on Instagram and just said, "I'd love to pick your brains. I'd like to pay for an hour of your time." And I was like, "Yeah, no worries. Give me a call." And we ended up staying on the phone for 3 hours.
3 hours.
Chatting, right? And I was like saying, I went back to Emma and I just said, "Emma, like, you have to meet Hayley. She's ace." And actually ended up just introducing you two, saying you'd really like each other and get on. And then Hayley kind of came into our group chat, didn't you? But then it's all quite boring, everybody. I really think this is probably boring, but the 3 of us broke away simply to talk about our video hosting platform. Like, I mean, it started off as that boring, right? We actually
had
tech support for each other. Exactly. We all used the same.
That's what the chat was called.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about tech support. Yeah.
It's because we all used the same platform. So we just had a common ground to constantly talk about, but we never actually talked about that. We started to just talk about all sorts of other stuff that was going on in the world and everything. And Maddie used to get mentioned a lot. Hayley used to mention my mate Maddie a lot. And obviously Maddie does exactly the same kind of thing as us in a different branch. So, you know, I said to Hayley and asked Emma if it was okay, because you have to ask everybody, is it okay? Yeah, is it okay to invite somebody else into this? Because I think it would really work. And that's kind of how it started. But we actually, and I'm not going to say who, right? But we actually really, really bonded overall losing to the same person at awards. Did you
know?
not?
No.
Okay, that was just me and Hayley then, and Maddie.
You know what I mean?
Nothing to do with this.
We all lost. Well, no, maybe just me. I lost to this one person, and was it you as well, Hayley? Yeah. So there was
me
just
too.
a bond, and Maddie, exactly.
Yeah,
Emma, just you. Yeah, right. So we bonded over losing to the same person at the awards one year, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So they say.
And I think Maddie came into the group actually as well because we were all talking to her separately. We were all
right.
And then we realised we were all talking to Maddie. And then we were like, should we bring her in? Should we see if she wants to come?
Yes. yes. That is it. That is what was happening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's all exciting. So back to the Spice Girls, Maddie.
Yeah. Back to the Spice Girls. So I think if we do, basically I'm just going to call this Love Fest, right? Because it's to the season and all that jazz. So I think if we go around and talk about what we think we contribute, and then we'll tell you what you actually contribute, because I think it's going to be vastly different. So,
okay.
God.
So, do you want to go? Hayley, you're on my screen first. I'll go for you, Hayley.
So, what do I think I contribute?
So, what do you think you bring? And then we'll just tell you that you're wrong, and then we'll tell you what you actually contribute.
I think I bring. Well, I'm definitely not the smartest in the room, so that's nice for everyone. Oh. I'm always like, please tell me this. I think I bring like. A bit of sensibleness sometimes, like when when someone's like stressing or spinning out a little bit. I think I'm quite good at going, but let's think about this from the other side, that kind of thing. Am I like sensible, Spice? Jesus. Something a bit how sexy is that? But I think I'm quite good at looking at things from different sides, so you can sort of process how you feel a bit better and like what you might do, because business is hard, isn't it? It's stressful. It's like we're all very emotional about our businesses in lots of ways because well, it really matters and we're passionate and it's our babies and stuff. And so sometimes we spin out about all sorts of things. And so I think that, or is that what it is?
I do agree, and actually Sensible Spice is funny, but I think you're spicy Spice, because what I love so much about you is that we bond over just like ridiculous ADHD things. And we always seem to be exactly like synchronized on like, do we have loads of energy? Do we have no energy? Have we started a new hyper focus? Oh, it's the same one at the same time. Let's, get really into protein at the same time, or like something ridiculous.
That is so true. Whenever we turn up to record this podcast, we're always in the same mood.
The same.
Like sometimes we turn up tired and sometimes we turn up bouncing off the walls, but it does always seem to sync up, which is a treat.
We have twin energy.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Is that good or bad?
I mean,
it's good when it's high, but when we're both just like, I'm tired. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But I do agree with your point. Like for me, well, I obviously I spend loads of time with you both online and in person. Like, you're a yes person, so when I go, Hayley, do you want to come to Vegas to go to like a hypnosis conference? You're like, yeah, okay, cool.
I am a yes person.
You are a yes person. I love that about you. We love the same food. We always like to go for pizza when we're in person, which works very well for me, and sweet treats. But back to your point, you're totally right. Like, if I'm about to like lose my shit, I'm like, I'm gonna run this past Hayley, and Hayley's gonna be like the filter of, do you want to say it that way, or you kind of slow our roll a little bit. Which, I mean, it's a therapist in you, and you do therapist voice and therapist head.
Yeah, you do.
It's
yeah,
it's useful. Well, that's nice.
So I'm going to say spice because those are like the such a joy that we share the spicy brain so severely. Emma, what is Hayley to you?
Oh,
it's like an intervention, but the opposite.
I know. I think I agree that she's sensible Spice.
I do.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think I agree. No, but you can also not be sensible spice when you're talking to us and bringing us down in your sensible spice. But you can then also be. I'll have to think of another spice, but like when you're talking about your own business, you're not always sensible spice.
No,
that's really awful. But like when you're talking about like your things that you like, you know, you're talking about launching or whatever. I had to be sensible spice to you the other day.
Yes.
And say to you, well, you know, you're not looking at the numbers. So are we all going to be chaotic spice and sensible spice? Are we all going to be
It's one or the other, I find.
Yeah, like so I was thinking, so I don't know what maybe not chaotic spice, but you know, there's that as well. But yeah, I think when you're talking to us, your level-headed spice.
I was going to say
down.
Level. How annoying!
Yeah, level-headed.
You still might think. Yeah.
Sorry. Level-headed spice. Which is why it's good that we've got a space that we rant. Like we can rant about stuff, and then like not everything makes it outside the group chat. We don't action stuff all the time.
Thank God.
You know, but probably when you all log it, like go and check your messenger, and there's like 5 1-minute voice notes from me.
Yeah,
and then you have to be like, all right, practice. So I think sensible spice, and that's what you're bringing your therapist side into us. That's what I think.
Oh,
I love that.
Nice.
Viv, what about you?
I mean, it's hard to go at the end and add stuff, but Hayley, I think that you've taught me to kind of understand myself better. I don't know what you'd call that. That must be the therapist in you. But like, you do this thing, right, where you're happy to ask loads of questions and show that you don't know stuff. And I've always found that hard to do. I don't know if it's because I opened my own salon when I was 25 and I always had to pretend I knew what I was doing. I've always just wing it, pretend I know what I'm talking about and figure it out in the background and don't let people see that. But you do that just so well. And I love the way, and I've started to do this. I've definitely started to copy ways that you interact with people. You're like, oh, that's interesting. Say more about that. And I love that phrase because that doesn't say, oh, shit, I never knew that. Or look, oh, God, it doesn't expose you as somebody who doesn't know. But what it says is, oh, I'm really interested in hearing more about your thoughts on this, which is and I just think that's really smart. I really love that. So you've taught me how to kind of show that better to other people. I can take that out of the group and, you know.
You've got phrases.
Yeah, really good
lots
phrases.
Of Haleyisms.
So therapy. They're my therapy phrases. So like, say more about that is just it's like what I said all the time when I was a therapist, because as a therapist, your job is to be curious. That's what I was taught. And so, you know, I just bring that into my coaching. But then if I'm talking to someone who's struggling, when I'm trying to understand what is really going on for you, I'll just be like, say more about that. Oh, that's nice, Viv. That's good.
I think there's loads. Like I noticed myself, maybe because I talk to you so much, but I'm like, oh, this is a Haleyism, and I love when you go, that sounds hard, because it's like so like you've got this problem. I'm not going to come and rescue you, but like, you know, I can hold this. And I stole one. Yeah, I stole one. I did credit you though, but I used it in a program the other day, and I was like, I learned this from Hayley, and it's mint, where I was trying to articulate something and I couldn't, and you said, say it badly. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing, because I was trying to say it right. So I just said it and then we worked it out. So I was like, right, I'm going to steal this. Yeah, you have such a way of like communicating with people. That's communication spice, regulated spice.
Every group chat needs a therapist. I mean, that's what we've got. Like, honestly, I think that's what makes this such a good group chat. We've got a therapist here, people.
Yeah, we've looked out.
That's so good. Well, thanks, gangs. That's just an absolute little joy. So let's do Emma now, because, you know, she's going to find this the most awkward. So that'll always be fun. And so, Emma, what do you think you're bringing to this group?
I definitely don't have the same way with words as you. So I definitely think I'm more direct and blunt.
Blunt spice.
Yeah, blunt spice. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm probably the one to say it how it is.
Yeah. Definitely.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know what as well? I haven't got time to beat around the bush. Like the group chat's fast.
No.
Like
Emma's like, I'm walking down the road with a pram, giving you my opinion.
Yeah, this is it.
But also, I mean, this is how I've got away with words. I'm the one that also goes to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, well done, Emma.
She's so superior with that job.
Tiny violin.
So, because I still do clients, like
she has to get dressed sometimes.
I still do clients.
Oh.
Yeah, I do clients, so I'm at the house a lot, and I feel like then I'm like making a coffee for my client, catching up on the group chat, and then there's like something going on, and I'm like, you know, straight in.
That is true.
Yeah,
The blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get this done.
Yeah, let's not talk about this for hours. Let's just this is my solution.
Yeah.
Bye.
Or yeah, I think you should do this. Whereas I feel like Hayley probably is a bit more like, you know, not.
Let's figure this out. Yeah.
I'm a bit like, say more about that first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I'm like, stop what
Don't
you're doing.
Don't tell me anymore.
Do this. This will work.
I think Emma is secretly kind spice, and this is what I think. The thing about Emma is, and I can't tell the stories because I'll just cry, but I think Emma, if people only watch Emma on TikTok and see her ranting, they will think she's a certain sort of person. But I think if you know Emma, she's like so generous and so kind. And I think that, you know, I don't want to say that's surprising because I've known, you know, like our relationship's grown, so it's different. But I think if you don't know her at all, you might think that she is blunt spice. And although she can be, I think there's this other side where she's so generous and thoughtful, but she likes to downplay that quite a lot. She does really nice things. And it's like, I don't want to talk about it though. Like, I'm going to do.
Don't ever mention this again.
Don't ever discuss it.
Don't tell anyone I was nice to you, okay?
Don't ruin my street cred. But I think she's done, particularly early on in my career, Emma did some very, very generous things, which was great and really nice, and I'll never forget that. But I also, this is the big thing I think Emma brings to the group is this. It's like she's always gone first. Like whatever issue you're having in your business, Emma's already had it. Because I think she was running this sort of business before any of us. Yeah. And so she literally has got every problem you've ever had, which is really brilliant to have in the group. Like she does have an opinion on everything because she's done everything, you know, like whatever it is. And so I think she's like a fountain of knowledge.
But I always think about problems, like the problems we have, like 5 years ago, we would never comprehend the problems that we have now. And I think if people outside knew the problems that go on at this stage, they'd be like, oh my God, you never think that you'd have to face that problem. So I think that's what's so great about us, you know, that we have quite unique problems as well. I think that's the other thing. Yeah. But if you've encountered that problem, then these unique problems.
Can I just give an example of that? Because I just think this is the wildest thing, and it's like only a thing that could happen to you, Emma, is when you were doing a webinar and the Queen died and you came to the group chat and you were like, what? You were like, what do I do? And I was like, what a unique challenge. It's like, that was one that no one had faced before. So when you say like we call it new level, new devil, like as you grow and progress, like you get different problems than what you had before. But like that's the, what's what I'm thinking of. The type of problem or like some of the stuff that we come to and help each other with is just the biggest curveballs like you've ever seen, or it's stuff that all of us have dealt with. And I kind of love that. I love the challenge, and I love the working through it together and going, okay, this is happening right this second, like hive mind, like how do we deal with this? How do we work through this?
Everyone stick your 2 pennies in and let's see what we can figure
It's because it's such a new model of business. You know, there isn't a well-trodden path that we can look at and go, oh, well, the next step is going to be this, because we don't know, because it's a whole new world that we all work in. And by coming together and at least sharing our own experiences. Like if we were doing this all on our own, I wouldn't still be doing it. I know I wouldn't.
No, I think it's like, I just think I'm so grateful for having a gang, because I just think, what would I do sit at home just worrying about it by myself, you know, and having to buy a lot more education to learn.
They don't.
People don't talk about it. Like people don't. That's the problem. Like I think it's a problem, but also because we can't just hop onto social media and talk about our business problems. You can't do that. It's kind of similar to like when a hairdresser has a no-show and they talk about it on social media, which they shouldn't really do. Like we can't really do the same. Like you can't really,
because it's our customers.
You can't really pop into your stories and go, oh, I'm going to say this one. We can't pop into our stories and go and talk about chargebacks, which is like a whole new level of thing. You know, like it's that sort of thing. So that's why I think like it's so good. But 5 years, or whenever we started the group chat, it wasn't 5 years ago, but like we never would have thought that we would have these problems.
No. I mean, our businesses were tiny. They were tiny. I mean, mine wasn't even on an education platform when I met you guys. I was not at all of that. I know, it's crazy. Maddie, what do you think Emma's bringing to the group?
Well, I'm going to kick down to Viv because we're not going to make Viv go last every time. So
Emma brings the receipts. I mean, what this girl cannot.
Oh my God.
Literally,
Jesus
how
Christ.
does she remember all this stuff? Honestly, so like Emma remembers more about things and challenges and happy times and wins that I've had in my business more than I do. I cannot remember. Emma's like, remember when this girl said this, or remember when this happened, or remember this, and I remember you had got this many people on a course back in 2019.
This was your bonus for the launch of January 2013.
That's it. And I'm like, how do you know this? Because I can't even remember. But you remember so much, Emma. Where do you store this information and all the other stuff? I just don't get it. You've got
it's really funny that you say that, because I've just made a TikTok about how chaotic I am. Don't remember to open my post, and I've got poor
That's because you're busy remembering my business. Right? You're obviously focusing on all the wrong things.
My long-term memory is quite good, but my short-term memory is like pants. So but my long-term memory is always been really good. Like I can pull like random facts out of my head. Obviously, but no one needs 20,000 screenshots, you know. Like,
we do. We clearly do.
Do you know, like how your mum remembers who did you wrong when you were 6? Your mum's like, I've never liked her. She did this when you were 6. I think Emma's like that. She remembers. She's like, oh, remember they said this about freelancers in that chat.
I was going to say that I really feel that, like, obviously Emma remembers everything, but I feel like Emma brings that real kind of mama bear energy to the group. Like she's like, who said what? Very protective, and it's always been really protective of me as well, which it's been like I never knew I needed it. Do you know what I mean?
You know, Emma, for a fight on Facebook. That's the thing. None of you lot.
No, I'm not.
You lot don't come out and start commenting.
Maddie doesn't mind a bit of it. Emma loves it.
No, she's
Emma loves
now. She's CEO energy. Like, no. I'm in Maddie's Facebook group having fights with people.
Arguing with people. Oh no, I'm not there for it.
I've got no energy for it.
Emma is my unpaid group admin. Like Emma knows more about my group than I know about my group. She's like, have you seen this chat? Have you seen what's going down in this thread? I'm like, no.
But that's exactly it. That's Emma's protective energy. Like she sees this going on in your group and she's like, this isn't on. You can't be doing that. There's somebody dropping links in your group at Maddie. There's somebody trying to take what away from you, what you've built. Emma won't be having that. I love that about you, Emma, and I really appreciate that.
To build it, isn't it? And she's like, no, I'm not having it.
But it's also that. But I made the decision a while ago not to sit on the fence because,
definitely don't do that.
Really?
As much that, like, I think this is the one thing I think about the industry, and we've said this, is that people do want to sit on the fence because they do want to people please to climb the ladder. You know, like you don't want to annoy the people judging the awards because you might want to win one, those sorts of things. And I made the decision a while ago that that's not my bag. I would actually rather be seen to be sticking up for like self-employed people, for example, rather than not saying the stuff about women who work and mums working and self-employed, which is generally the things that I'm ranting about. So I don't mind diving in there and, you know, like going for it a little bit, because I've experienced that, and, you know, whatever. But yeah, I think people should fall off the fence all the time. They don't.
I think the industry needs more people like you. I wish I was more like that.
Yeah, but you know,
I'm like, hello, I'm Viv. Have you met my friend Emma? She'll tell you what I think.
Emma.
She'll tell you what I think. Go on, Emma, tell them.
I do this, so I say to Emma sometimes, I might say this. If I was going to do it, I'd say this, but I don't do it. I think, well, I always think I've got to be careful with you know, I don't want to be seen to be arguing with people as a mental health person, but I do enjoy it.
Don't care.
I guess I feel like I'm more like a advocate for self-employed, which I think over the years is what self-employed people have needed, because it weighs so heavy on anti-self-employment. So I kind of took it upon myself, but that also came from the lockdown, like the doing the grants in lockdown. That's like how it came about. Like it wasn't really a thing then. I just started ranting to, you know, the governing bodies of hairdressing about what they were doing for self-employed people in lockdown, and I haven't stopped since, basically. I just kept going. And I don't forget.
No, you don't.
No,
I think
that's
you're
a good combo.
brave. Very, very brave. I love that. I think that's really admirable.
Yeah, agreed. I would say like Justice Spice would be for you, and I've said this to you before when we first started talking. Like I don't want to say underestimated you, but I misunderstood you, because I only saw that Emma that some people see, which is like Emma in a Facebook group being like, you know, giving it what for, and like, you know, like you say, picking a side. And I was like, whoa, I was like, who's this chick? Like really going in on people in groups. And then when I, you know, met you and got to know you, exactly as Hayley says, like super generous, but not just like in a physical sense, but so generous with like your strategy, your time, like sharing what's working. If you do something and it works, you come and tell us straight away, and you're like so generous with your knowledge and to help, like genuinely want to help other people. And I love that. And yeah, just this sense of justice, like you are the biggest advocate for self-employed people, for mums, like, and that doesn't wane at all. And yes, people might see it as like what you'd say ranty, but you genuinely give like such a shit about your people. And I find that really admirable as well.
It's coming from a good place, isn't it? I think that's the thing. It's like, she's ranting on TikTok about whatever, but it's like, it's coming from a good place. She's always trying to look after someone by drawing someone's attention to what's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it's God, isn't it?
Oh.
Carry on, Emma. Carry on.
Keep going. Right, let's do Viv. Viv, what are you, Viv? What do you bring?
I think I'm a really good networker. I'm good at connecting people. I'm good at connecting people. I'm good at seeing all of the little other people in the industry that you should know. And I always do that. I always set people up. I'm like a little Cilla Black, I think, setting people up in the industry, because I'm like, oh, Maddie, you should know this person. They'd be really good for you. So I think I'm really good at that. And what else?
I mean, your social media skills are quite good.
With social media,
you're okay. Yeah,
we don't. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because it probably started off that there was a lot more advice around, oh, what would you do on this? With, you know, this has happened on my Instagram. What am I going to do? I mean, we probably don't really even discuss those kind of minor blips anymore. Our businesses have moved on so far, haven't they? Posted on social media, it's like, well, that's the easy bit. No problem. I think I'm quite good at like helping people come up with names for their courses and stuff. I like doing that. Yeah. Can I come up with any from my own? No. But you tell me what your course is about, and I can pluck a name out of somewhere. Yeah. connecting people, I think, is my thing.
I think I would have you down as creative spice, and it was exactly that. Like, I think you came up with Slay the Day. Like, I feel like that's a big name for the challenge. Yeah, you're so creative, and I just love. I don't know how to describe it, but the energy that you have. Do you know what I love is when you say something and then you just like cackle afterwards, like you make yourself laugh, and that makes me laugh loads. Like, or you'll be telling a story to yourself, and it's actually like the funniest thing on a voice note, and then you'll just end like absolutely creasing. I just love that, like, how you communicate. It's really nice. You just make me laugh. Like, I just find you really funny, but yeah, like super creative as well. Like if I'm in creative block, I'm like, how do I say this, or what does this need to say? And you have this like real creative brain energy that you can just pull it out of thin air. It's dead impressive.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So I always find that I come across, it's funny, isn't it? Because I think it's the same for all of us. People don't really know what you like, so they just see your social media you. And I actually don't think people realize, like, exactly like Emma's as kind as she is, or even that Hayley's not sensible spice at all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Or
Hayley's evil behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Like an evil genius.
Yeah. But like, and I don't think that people would know, like, if you looked at my social media, that I'm funny or chaotic, or there's all sorts of chaos going on, but my life's really fun, you know. But I don't know if you'd see that.
Yeah, I think the same about Viv, in the way that the amount of things she's named of mine is amazing. You definitely named Lead from the Heart.
Yeah,
that was definite. But there's so many more, and so many strap lines, and just that you're so good at coming up with stuff that's like snappy. Because I'm very like, say what it is on the tin.
Yeah, 10 words. I'm like, let's bring this down to 3.
Yeah, I'm just like, here's a course about
I like
boundaries.
things that rhyme. I like things that have the same letters. I mean, like, you can see it.
And I'm just like, here's a boundaries course. And so, you know, they've saved me from that sort of thing so much. But I also think I've got a story about Viv that showcases, you know, just like thoughtful and kind, and just like really nice. I remember I was in another country and I was doing a presentation, and it was the first time I was presenting to a room of all salon owners. And the thing is, when you're talking about mental health with salon owners, you've got to be so careful that you don't sound like you're telling them off, because I feel like salon owners feel like they're being had a go at all the time. And I was really nervous about coming across in that way. That's what I was actually worried about in my head. But I'd actually been up in the middle of the night rewriting my presentation, because I was so conscious of like wanting to be on their side and all of this stuff. Anyway, I started to have like quite a spin out about this, and I'm in another country on my own. And I just dropped into the chat being like, oh my God, I'm having a meltdown about this. And I feel like you just popped up, Viv, and I don't know where everybody else was, like busy. Emma would have been doing clients. Maddie would have been on holiday.
I'll have been on holiday.
Yeah, in another time zone.
Different time zone.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. On a plane.
I don't know if it was in a text and a voice note, but my memory is that you rang me. But I don't know if that's actually true. But anyway, I was just going, and what if this, and what if they think this, and it'll just be terrible, and you know, and you were just like, Hayley, you are very, very warm when you present, and you're funny. And so they'll just like you, and they'll get your intentions, and it will be fine. And I was like, oh yeah, I am quite warm. That's true. That is my style that I go for. Yeah. Oh yeah, I am quite funny sometimes. And you were just like, honestly, like, you're so good when you speak on stage. Like, this will be nice, and you're so kind. And I was like, oh, okay, Viv, thanks so much. Like, and honest to God, I can't tell you. I was literally on the edge of a panic attack in a country on my own. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's fine. I feel fine now. And I just honestly
know that, Hayley.
Well, I mean, you were there, but it was a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe something like that. It was when I first started doing more public speaking.
Oh God, it was a big room,
stages.
girl. It was a big room. And when I saw the pictures, I was like, whoa, she had every right to be shitting herself.
Yeah, it wasn't even that one. It wasn't the big one. It was one.
Oh, was it not the
that.
big one? Oh,
no, it wasn't the big one. It was one before that. But it was it was all salon owners. And I'm so conscious that salon owners can feel like they're getting beaten up all the time, you know, and sort of being blamed for every problem in the world. And so I just really wanted to get my tone right. But anyway, it went really well, Viv. Thanks.
Of course it did, because you're really warm and,
I got
funny.
The big gig.
Yeah, the big lads.
Yeah.
I got the big gig. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know,
you
so
are really good on stage, Hayley. Never doubt
Thanks,
yourself
madam.
about that.
Amazing, yeah.
Thanks.
Oh,
But I just think that's a really good example of our group chat as well. You know, it's a good example of Viv, but it's just a good example of what we use it for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. Mega support.
What about Maddie, hey?
I'm like, when are you going to say nice things about me?
Thought, no, Emma's got
have we not? Oh, I'm sorry, Emma.
No. Oh, sorry, Emma.
I've got to talk about Viv, haven't I?
Do you see how I totally was like, let's deflect it back to somebody else now? I was like, right, that's enough. Okay, let's go. Somebody else.
Go on, Emma.
It is hard going last, so I'm going to do it this boring, you know, because I'm going to have to say that Viv is, you are creative and you are sensible. I think very similar to Hayley in some ways. That's why I sometimes feel like I come across like the excited child, you know, like, and then you two are like the sensible ones. That's how I feel like. Maddie's quite excitable too and semi-sensible.
By excitable, what they mean is rebellious. I mean, I just want to put that out.
Yeah, we have to be reined in a little bit more. We're the millennials, but I think what you underestimate, Viv, is like how experienced you are in the whole thing. Like, I think sometimes you think, oh, this is like not your first day at work, but you come with like so much experience, like more than us, because you've been a salon owner from a very young age and you've done loads of stuff in the industry. And I think so you have got loads of experience in stuff. And like, I think you underestimate as well that, you know, like you grew a whole business, like this whole business. Like I'm forever in awe of like people that just create businesses like out of nowhere, because, you know, that's like amazing.
Yeah.
But I think you underestimate that, but I think you bring that to us as well, because you have got all that, like you've got loads of industry. In fact, you've got the most industry experience, I think, because you've been a salon owner and you've got all of that behind you. And I think you bring that to us as well. And, you know,
it's like the perspective, like,
I think you underestimate.
She just session
work. I think you
so
really
funny.
underestimate all of the experience and the entrepreneurialness that you have, which is like the creativity, coming up with the ideas. But sometimes you're like, oh, I can't come up with an idea or the course, or like, what should I? But you have like you're really established and experienced and entrepreneurial and creative. But I don't think you know that about yourself.
But you see, this is Emma, right? This is Emma. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate that. And I wouldn't have done any of this if it wasn't for Emma saying these exact things to me back in 2020. In 2019, I was already teaching social media, but as part of a group, you know, it wasn't my thing. And then obviously we all went into lockdown, didn't we? And we're all like tragically looking at our lives ahead. But Emma said to me, you should do a course, you should do a boot camp. And I was like, really? Why? Like, hairdressers don't want to learn this. And you were like, oh my God. I mean, Emma will remember probably the exact words I said. I can't remember, obviously. We were in person. See, I don't remember.
Yeah, we were at a Christmas
Of course,
party.
Emma remembers.
Yeah, we were at a Christmas party. It was the first time I met you, and I was teaching. Right. I was teaching.
This is before lockdown.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
yes. See, I never remember anything.
Yeah. And we went to the Christmas party in that manor house thing.
Yeah.
And I was teaching really small classes. And when I used to say to them, what is it that you want to learn? They were like, oh, how do you do your social media? Now, I had probably like 800 followers, 1,000 followers on Instagram. But at that time, that was kind of like having 1,000 followers was quite a big deal. Anyone that was active on social media, it was kind of a big deal. And, you know, I was busy doing clients. I was selling out these little balayage classes. And on the classes, they would say to me like, oh, how do you do social media? And I was like, oh, I don't really know. Like I'm just winging it a bit, learning, but also I was having coaching from you within this group. And I said to you at this Christmas party, let's get you over to Essex, because obviously we didn't do online education then.
Yeah.
And I said, let's get you over to Essex, and why don't you come and do a social media class? I'll get all these people who want to learn. And you said to me, what, hairdressers want to learn about social media? And I was like, yes, they're all sitting on my classes. In fact, they want to learn the balayage, but they want to learn how to market themselves. Like, I think we forget, like, post-pandemic, self-employment was still so new, balayage was new, like, not everybody was on Instagram, we didn't have TikTok, we didn't have influencers, and that's not that long ago. Yeah. When we went into lockdown, instead of coming to Essex, which obviously you couldn't do, I said to you, let's do a boot camp, and well, that's it, isn't it? Really, that's the rest. Is
yeah. Well, I remember you telling the story because you ran it through Emma's website or something.
I
hosted her.
Yeah, because I had no like payment links or anything. It was so basic. I did the admin. Back to that.
I did the admin. I let everyone in the Facebook. It's my dream job. I let everyone in the Facebook group, did all the admin and everything. Yeah, I did all of that. And then Viv was like, I think we did it twice.
Yeah,
and then
we
you
did.
Were like, actually, I think I might do this as a business. And
you were like,
yeah, go for it. Yeah. So I was sitting here replying to emails for you.
But it was Emma, the way Emma says, like, Viv, you underestimate yourself, you know, like you have got so much more to, it was Emma who said that to me to get it started.
Yeah.
No. I need Emma, I need you to never leave me.
I know.
Encouragement.
Chat,
but then I do say all the time, I still like, I don't know whether like things always stay with you, but like those first boot camps always stayed with me. Like obviously the buzz of lockdown education, I think, is something that we've probably all never really recreated in the same way. Like there was something really special about everyone being in their pajamas on Zoom and like those sorts of things. It doesn't really have the same hit anymore. Like there was, you know, even doing this today, I was like, oh my god, it reminds me of lockdown. You know, like in a weird way, like being at home. But I always say to you, when you say, what should I be doing? I'm like, you should be doing that. Like you should be doing, like, try and recreate that buzz. Like I always say that to you, don't you? Don't I? Like, I just think there was something so good about that initial thing that you did.
Yeah. And honestly, I think, you know, like Maddie's got her Course Creator Club on at the moment, and obviously going to run that forever, hopefully. And, but I say to people when they're starting out, like, you know, everybody wants to go straight into having like where we're at 5 years on. But like, honestly, the best, the most fun times were a PayPal link and a Facebook group. Like it was fun,
like
basic,
so, like
easy.
Bootstrap business.
Yeah.
It was so
And obviously, life goes on, and as you grow your business, it grows and it becomes more slick, and we need higher tech. But yeah, those first times were brilliant, and like I wouldn't have done it without Emma's, you know, saying exactly what she said to me just now. Thanks, Emma. I think I'm checking for a pep talk next week.
So let's say Maddie's last. So Maddie, what spice do you think that you're bringing?
So where I see myself in like everything is, I don't know if you've seen the screenshot of that text conversation, and it's like a girl who says, oh, I've just dropped my kebab, sad face. And the guy replies, he's like, are you in the emotion phase? Are you in the solution phase? And it's like, that's me. I'm not the emotional. I'm not like, no, Hayley, you deal with that. But I feel like solutions phase, problem solve. That's what I love to do. That's what I see myself as anyway.
Well, I'm going to let one of these two go first.
I'll go.
Go, Emma.
Hands up.
CEO spice.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I think spice. Yeah, I think you bring the CEO energy to all of us, which is good. because I think like I like the numbers, you like the numbers. The other two are not so numbers focused. Like so we have a little geek
We're
out
people
on the
focused.
Numbers. Yeah. So we're a little bit like love a debrief, love a strategy,
we'll love a debrief, don't we?
Yeah. So like I like that. Yeah, you bring the CEO energy, which I feel like I often feel like I should learn a lot from, like not going into Facebook groups and, you know,
spending your time arguing in my group.
Like you're posting being on first class, I'm posting being on Ryanair. Like
we're not the same.
So I'm always like, I learn a lot. Like I feel like I look at your stories and I'm like, I really should be posting that I'm flying in first class, and but I'm posting my budget Ryanair flights and like ranting
your
from
24-hour turnaround to wherever.
That's it. Extreme day trips, which I love as well.
Which has got a whole different vibe to it. But you've definitely got that like elevated like strategy, the bringing the numbers that we geek out on, and you're really really giving with your advice and stuff. So the advice, and I'd say like Hayley said, she feels like I've had all the problems, but I feel like you've had a lot of the problems. Like I feel like if I've had a problem, you've had the problem. So I feel like that's what I feel from you as well. So like, and slightly sensible spice as well.
Depends what day it is. Sometimes I go rogue, but sometimes
down.
You don't. But even your rants are sensible. Like
that's only recent, I think. Though that's like probably Hayley's influence. That I'm a bit like, I used to just fight all the time on Facebook. I'd be like, right, there's an argument, I have to say my piece, and now I'm only because it's why I'm not on TikTok. And I know all of you are like, get on TikTok, it'll change your life. And I physically just can't. Not anymore.
Whereas I live and breathe trolls. Like I love the troll. Like I'm like, whereas it makes you like feel ill. Whereas I'm like, oh, there's a troll, bring it on. Like, it livens up my day. But so which is then, that's how I feel. Then I actually, quite a few times in my day, I have a thought in my head of what would Maddie do.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, thanks.
Because I know that you wouldn't be fighting in Facebook groups. Entertaining the trolls. And then I think like I need to, I do think, or I sometimes say that in the chat though. I sometimes say, I know in my head, I particularly about my
you say Maddie would say this.
You do.
I know what Maddie's going to say, but I'm going to ask it.
As the words come out of my mouth about how I feel about money, in my head, I just know what you're going to say. Like I know in my head.
You're going to get told off.
Like I can always say things like, oh, it's on area or something, because I know that you're going to be like, no, this doesn't matter. So I'm like, I can feel you. You live rent free in my head.
Oh, amazing. Sorry if that's awful.
That's God, isn't it? What about you?
I don't know what you would call this, but I feel like Maddie's helped me to kind of see the world. I hate the expression woke, but it's kind of that to help me be more. Oh, is woke the right expression? I don't know.
I don't mind you saying woke, and I know exactly what you mean.
Okay?
I don't mind.
And even now I'm like, so like if I had an issue, and I have had issues in the past where maybe I don't know, wanted to use a certain term, and then I'd go, is that okay to still say that? Or, because we do all need to check ourselves every now and again, or I've had issues where somebody might have upset me or said something, or, we probably all know what I'm talking about. Whereas I really feel in that situation, Maddie helped me to understand that it is absolutely perfectly fine to feel upset about that, because what that person has said is wrong, and they wouldn't have said it if you were a man. So for that, to help me just feel all the feelings, but to go, no, I'm justified in actually fighting my corner in this because Maddie says so. Like it's sometimes we need. I don't know what that is. It's almost like a little bit of
unpack something. Like when I've said to you about being. Like someone says something about being female. That's what you've just said, or being a mum, or like I'll use an example when we talk about why there's so many men in awards. something, for example, in the industry, you will help us unpack it in a very educated way.
Yes.
Because then you will say, like, then you brought to my attention about why women and mums are more disadvantaged in the industry, which is how I feel, but you have a very good way of verbalizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's almost like you're our, I think they probably have people like this in government. You're our...
I'm like the advisor to like feminism, socialism,
and We'll go to you and say, I'm really hurt and upset about this. Like, let's run it through the filter of Maddie to see whether I'm just being emotional or I'm right in feeling pissed off about this.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, it's a great asset to have in a group like ours, because we are dealing with the wider audience. We're dealing with other hairdressers. We're dealing with people just like ourselves, and we sometimes need to understand, the politics of it. Baby, you're our political advisor, Maddie.
Nice, I'll take that. Oh, thank you.
Our social barometer. That's what you are. It really is helpful. So, and thank you, because it helps me own the feelings that I have and go, no, you're not. That's not right what you said.
Yeah,
and then I'll ask Emma to Emma, stick up for me.
Yeah, Emma, go and pick up with it.
So you go in, Emma. I am upset. Maddie says it's okay to be upset about it. You do something about it.
She's educated Spice. Educated.
Thank you.
I think one of the big things Maddie brings to the group, especially for me, but I think for everyone, really, I think I could speak for everyone, is she encourages everyone to think bigger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, always think bigger. And I just think that's really useful. I think being in a group chat with Maddie is very similar to being in one of her programs, because I've been inside some of her programs because I coach in one of them. But I think she's like the hype woman, the pep talk. Like, I think that sometimes she speaks to us like we're in her program.
Yeah, I do.
Go and do this.
Good,
go and do this.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I think she can be like coachy in a really nice and generous way. Like, it's very generous. I find Maddie is very generous with her strategy and how she does things and why, and how, exactly how she's doing things and all of that sort of stuff, which I think is really good. But I think that the overall vibe from Maddie is like, she's always coaching you. She always wants you to be better.
I can't stop.
And very positive. Very positive. Like, we can all descend into being a bit negative Nelly, like in conversation, and Maddie swoops in with the whole
she's
positive
having none of that.
spice. Yeah, like,
no, I'm not having any of that.
She's like, I'm not even interested in that conversation. I want to problem solve. So we can all just get round.
I'm like, can we get out of the sad time? Let's solve some problems, guys.
I'm even trying to think if Maddie's ever come into the group, like we'll all do it. Like, oh my God, you never guess what? Like this, and it could be absolutely nothing to do with our business. It could just be some silly tragedy that had happened. I'm just trying to think, does Maddie do that? I don't think you do, Maddie.
Yeah.
Does she?
Yeah, because we have that thing of like, add this to the book, don't we? Because
we have. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
So I definitely feel like you've had to share, like, and I feel like
totally,
you have come first with some of the more recent bigger problems.
Your business has grown so much bigger that like the problems just grow, don't they?
Like, I'll come in if there's like, again, it's just to run stuff past people. So say if I've had like an email or something, like, I don't know, something that I'm dealing with, and I'm like, okay, this is how I'm seeing it. How's everyone else seeing it? And, Hayley will run it through the filter of like, don't lose your shit. And we'll have a really good conversation. I feel so supported to then go, okay, I've like consulted the committee. Like, this is how I'm going to process it. But I think it's cool because we will all experience some version of those things as well. So it's why I love like group programs, is that when we solve a problem together, when another person has a similar problem, which is bound to happen, we're like, oh, we've done this, like we've worked through the same things, I'm experiencing the same thing. So I really like that about it. But I've certainly not come with challenges, like, because when Emma says for the book, it's because Emma says I should write a book about being an online course creator and all of the shenanigans that come with
we
that.
have so much stuff though. But it's almost like I think people outside genuinely could not even imagine some of the stuff.
You couldn't.
That's the thing. Like, and I think where there's such a big focus on clients not doing stuff to hairdressers, we always say that sometimes that isn't reciprocated in our world. So that's why we always go, add that to the book. So maybe one day we will share that stuff.
Once I've retired,
we're away from it when it feels a bit more distant past.
It is. But it is
when I retire, I'm going to write a book. That's
when
it.
we'll
do a tell-all memoir.
Burn our business. But it is funny, isn't it? Because the exact thing that, and I think we're all okay to say this, but the exact thing that hairdressers complain about their clients doing, they do to us tenfold. Like they're in our DMs at night time. They're rude to us in emails. They're like you know, it's like, but then you go onto their social, you know, like, exactly. And like, it's hard, isn't it? Because like Emma said earlier, it's not like you can just go onto your social media and say, do you know what I'm sick of? People like in my DMs at 10 o'clock saying, where's the link for tomorrow? It's like, read the email. Right? So thank you for listening, everybody. We really love you all. And 95% of everybody who does all of our programs and courses are brilliant.
Yeah, like the vast,
same as your
in the same way as
base.
everyone's clients. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very similar, but in a different way, isn't it? I just think when you're doing
it's a whole different podcast. It's a whole different
podcast for about 10 years' time.
Yeah.
But I think I mean, for me, I'm really grateful for this group. I think, like you said, Viv, like, would I still be doing it without it?
Yeah,
it'd be really hard. I think that all the time. I think, God, it'd be so miserable just sat on my own on my couch, on my laptop with no one to go and talk to. You know?
I
definitely
wouldn't have lasted this long.
No.
I think it's
really
like
hard.
I think it's really good because when people are doing well, that pushes us forward. It's like motivating. Sometimes if you're having a day where you're like, I can't deal with this or I can't be arsed, like there's always someone there. We check in. Obviously, me and Emma obsessively check in with everyone's like launch metrics every minute of the day. I'm like, what have you done? It's 10 to 8. But yeah, and everyone like genuinely celebrates everyone. Like whatever range it is, like if something's going well, there's always going to be someone there who's like, nice one, well done, like proud of you, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. And I just think what's brilliant about the fact that there's a few of us in this chat is that there's someone's always there, aren't they? You know, like sometimes like Emma's in the salon, Maddie's on holiday, Viv's teaching, you know, I'm doing whatever, but there's always someone floating around. You know, if you really need an opinion, there is always someone. So I think that's really good. It's really nice,
we're so lucky. We're so lucky because we're not. I mean, obviously, we are sometimes in competition with each other. Some of our businesses kind of cross over, don't they? But mostly we complement each other really nicely. And I think that if you had to choose 4 people to be in this kind of group together, it would be us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it works really, really well. And it's like we all bring something different, which is great.
It doesn't quite work if we all talk colour. It wouldn't quite be the same.
Be hard.
Whereas we all teach something that will combines with like somebody else's as well. So we've all done joint ventures together.
I was just going to say we've all collaborated, haven't we? In loads. Of different ways.
I affiliate for Maddie and Hayley. You've done some stuff for me, and Viv has as well. So it does cross over really nicely.
It's like complementary, isn't it?
And I think that's a unique situation. So if anybody is going to build their own network, bear that in mind.
Well, that was going to be my next sort of question, was just to close on, is if anyone's listening and they're thinking, I want to find like my craft, my girl gang, like I think that's a really good point to have it where it's complementary, not clashing, because I think that would be really hard if like all of us were teaching like balayage. It would be a bit of a nightmare. And I think I know a lot of people in the industry that are already talking to people, so they already have exactly what you were saying, Viv, like you're already having these chats, like find out who other people are chatting to and be like, could this be our gang?
That's what I think you find
would start.
people on like courses and stuff as well, don't you? You know, like people on the same journey as you. And I think it's just like, it's about someone you've got something in common with. But I think, you know, like when we first met, we were at not exactly the same, but similar points in our business, you know, like Emma was for me, Emma was a bit more advanced in the tech and stuff like that, but we was really similar. And I think it's important to find a group where you're all in a similar place. Otherwise you either feel left behind or bored. You know, and so I think it's that, you know,
but we all,
people who are going
the
the
other
same
thing
way.
that we've got in common kind of is that we all moved away from a business into a new business. And I think that was the other key thing as well. As much as I still do clients, I stepped away from being a full-time hairdresser, and so did you three. And I think so we had the time to talk about them and be on that growth journey together. Whereas and we all know that really the education is more successful when you take that step, because you're not running two businesses. So I think that's the other thing that we've all got in common as well, is that we probably were all on the start of our business, start of that, like we'd all stopped being hairdressers, kind of. I'm still a hairdresser, but we'd all stopped and we'd all gone. So I think that's the other thing as well. You do need people in a very, very similar situation to you, because otherwise somebody is doing clients all day while you are doing online education or whatever, and it doesn't quite work.
You've not got the same problems.
You haven't got the same, no, exactly. You haven't got the same problems. But then I don't come to you guys about, you know, my client, you know, client issues. We talk this education.
I mean, if you want to come to me for like toner formulas, Emma, at any point, I'm definitely
don't come to me.
Really
but then, like, I've got I have another group chat, but you know, like I have a group chat.
What?
What? I'm sorry.
No, hang on, let me finish. I obviously have my coaching program, which is my client chat for colorists, and we all use the same brand. We all use the CSC. Oh, you're all worried there. But we all use the same brand, so I get my fix in that way. You know, like we all, and if you're going to do a hairdresser networking thing, you know, people that use the same brand but might not be in the same competition, those sorts of things. You've got to have a common ground, otherwise you get to a point where you just think we're in competition with each other.
Or you're just misunderstanding each other, or like not getting it. Like we've all, like, to navigate leaving being a full-time hairdresser to being an educator, or like a full-time educator, is a really challenging and weird transition to make. So we've all done that. So I think that's a really good point. And I think, like, my favourite phrase, like, shy burns getting out, like just slide into people's DMs and be like, oi, should we do a group chat? Because I'm so pleased that it was Hayley. I think Hayley extended the invite because we were bonding over having bad backs, and you were like,
that was
you were like, you were like, me and my friends have seen you across the bar. We like your vibe. Do you want to come into the group chat? I was like, oh yeah, girl.
It was exactly that. God, it's weird when you think about it, isn't it?
You were the chosen one.
Would you like to be our friend, Maddie?
Honest, I'm so thrilled though. I'd be deviled if, I mean, obviously I wouldn't have known what I didn't know, but I'm so honestly, like, genuinely so pleased. And I've been in for like, feels like ages. So your chat must have been years, because I think it was 2021 when I joined.
I don't think our 2020.
Did I give birth in our group chat? Because did I give birth?
Yes.
No, but not with
in
Maddie.
The group chat.
Not with Maddie.
Not with Maddie.
No.
Was
it before Maddie? Oh.
Yeah. So I had my children in 2021, and I virtually gave birth in the group chat. Like, we were voice chatting, and I was like,
I'm
going into theatre now.
I'm going into theatre now. While I was also that's
launching.
when I started having
you launched.
I was moving onto my software platform. So as I gave birth, while also doing a challenge that's in someone else's thing, and I was like, she's here now. So like, let's get back to the group chat.
Literally, it was that like, oh yeah, she's been born. We were all like, yay! And you were like, no, hang on a minute, let's get what was this thing that we were saying before? And I was just like, wow.
Matilda literally just like slid into the
world.
thing.
But I love that Matilda's also a part of the group chat. Like, we voice note Matilda sometimes when she's like in the background. She knows all of our voices as well.
She used to talk about when she was here. She's at childcare now, but when she was here, she used to have a little chat with Hayley.
She likes my voice.
She
likes the Manc accent.
So yeah, we probably late 2021, I would say that we So it's been a while. It's been a while, 3 years.
I think it's nice though, because it's like running alongside the constant business and industry chat. We're just living our lives.
Yeah.
You know, having babies, moving house, going on holiday, you know, all that stuff, renewing our vows, you know, it's all going on, isn't it? You know? And so it's a really good combo of two. So I think that's really nice. It's really nice.
Lovely.
So,
gang,
we best wrap this up today, because this episode's going to be a big one, folks. But we end every episode with a chat about our hyper focus of the week, as me and Madia got the ADHDs. And so if you want to join in, you can. But do you want to go first, Maddie? Tell us your hyper focus.
I'll go first. I'll demonstrate if I can be this flexible. But I love a basic bitch hyper focus. Slipper socks.
Have they got sticky?
Oh, I thought she was about to do a yoga move for us then. I was going to be impressed.
Honest, do you know I love my cozy era? Like this time of year, I'm always in like my elevated knitwear. I'm in my fleecy electric blanket, and I can't bear. I don't like wear my Uggs in the house or Crocs or anything. I need to have just like a chill slipper sock. So I'm in my slipper sock era. If anyone has any recommendations, Aidan got me these in New York from the Museum of Modern Art. I don't know what relevance that has to anything, but the coziest thing ever. I'm just full cozy girl era at the moment. So anything fleecy and snuggly is the vibe.
I like a sock in the house like that, Maddie. I've got some on, but there's no way I can get my leg up to show you.
Go on, get yours.
I can actually do that. I can get my leg up.
Get my leg up. Hang on. Oh, actually, I've not even got them on. I can't show you.
Oh, nice shoes.
I get my leg up, but not in the camera. Do you remember toasties that had sticky bits on the bottom? That's what I need.
Are they the separate toe ones? Because that freaks me out.
All right. They just have like grips
like
on the bottom of the socks.
Oh, yeah.
It's the sensory thing. I can't have things between my toes. I can't do flip flops either. Ugh.
But you need socks that you don't kill yourself on the floor on.
That's it.
That's what I think. Yeah.
And protect you from the cat, because she's quite violent as well. So these work very well.
Yes. I've got a new hyper focus. There's a new crush in town. It's been simmering for years, this crush of mine, but it's really, full blown at the minute. It's taken over from Jason Bateman a little bit. I'm just having a rest from Bateman, and I've moved on to Greg Davis. You know Greg Davis?
Yes.
I love Greg Davis. He's so funny.
Tall,
Like, what's happening? How do we make
Come on.
Is he?
Greg? I'll get in touch with him.
I think
I'll send him a message, be like, my girl, I've got a friend called Hayley.
I've got a connector.
Connect to make it happen. But I fancied Greg Davis for years. I just think he's really hot. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Emma. We are not listening to you about who is hot.
Right, okay, yeah.
We all know.
We've all passed judgment.
Yeah, we're all just like, Emma, I'm sorry, no. We know.
Everything about him. So I've been watching he's got a show called The Cleaner, which I'm watching basically just
really good.
He's in it.
Really good.
I've never really watched Taskmaster. But I've decided to go in just because he's in it, just how can I get a bit more Greg in my life?
He's the teacher in the In-Betweeners. That's why he was like the first thing. And he ends up getting with a mum. Yeah.
That's
he's so good.
Spotted him years ago. Yeah, I just think he's hot. What can I say?
Well, we'll see what we can do. If Greg Davies listens to the podcast, get in our DMs.
Yeah,
Gregor.
If anyone knows him, just put the word out there. I'd love to go on a date.
Oh, that'd be good.
Do either of you two have a hyper focus you'd like to throw in the ring?
Well, I mean, like, I actually can lift my leg up like that because I used to be a gymnast and it's my party trick. Literally, it's my party trick. Every time I say to people, I can do this thing, they're like, they don't expect me to be able to do it, and then I can literally lift my leg up like that. I will do it for you.
Oh my god! Next time we're hanging out,
I swear I'll show you.
Next time. And what about you, Emma? Have you got a hyper focus?
Focus that I've been hyper focused on for. Well, over a year.
Sorry.
Sorry, Emma. What happened there?
You froze.
You froze. Back to you,
sorry.
Viv.
Say it again, Viv.
Back to me?
Yeah.
What did I end on? I'm sorry.
You didn't. You were about to tell us your hyperfocus, but we didn't hear it.
Oh, okay. So, sorry about that. So I don't have a hyperfocus of the week. I have a hyperfocus of the year, which literally I've never ever lasted so long at something, and that's playing my ukulele. I still play my ukulele. I started going to lessons over a year ago, probably a year and a half ago. And I always wanted to learn an instrument, and I still am going to my lessons and playing and learning, and I love it.
Wow,
I love
think that's
playing
the
my
main
ukulele.
feature then now, isn't it?
Right. I even got to the point where we had a party last weekend, and everyone was back here after the party, and we had a set where I played my ukulele and we all sang songs.
Oh, it's so cute.
Everyone was like, this was not on the bingo card. I would not have imagined we'd all be sitting here with Viv playing a ukulele.
I feel like we need more ukulele content though, and voice notes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'd like some more ukulele on your Instagram.
Yeah, I saw ukulele on your Instagram recently. I was like, hello, sorry, that's me.
Yeah, I do it. I have an ADHD sort of character, and I like her to have different obsessions. So sometimes she's got a tin whistle, sometimes she's got a book
I have a tin whistle as well. I don't have ADHD though.
She's got a book about cat craft, I don't know, and she wears heart glasses. But yeah, whenever I talk about ADHD, I try and look a certain way to differentiate.
Okay, well, you basically try and look like me, but I don't have ADHD. So
no. What about you, Emma?
I've always got a hyper focus. I definitely don't have ADHD.
It's just me and Maddie, definitely.
Just an honorary ADHD member. So I've moved on from budget flights. This week I'm on Vinted. Basically I just keep finding things on Vinted. So yesterday I had a win because my son is in tall Marks and Spencer school trousers, which is like quite a specialist thing, additional length.
They're hard to get.
Yeah, and you can't get them on the Marks and Spencer's website, and he's only got 2 pairs, and I found 2 pairs on Vinted last night.
Wow.
So that sings to my heart. So everything now, it's like, even if I don't need it, I'm like, right, let's have a look on Vinted. So yeah, and that sort of ties in with the fact that I'm a massive overspender. So anything where it spends like spending money, and I think I'm actually like a secret spender because I get parcels delivered, and I don't even know what they are. Like, you know, like parcels just come and I think
surprise parcel,
them in your sleep, like a secret.
Yeah,
user,
I
like
think
doing
so.
it
You know, like people are secret eaters. Yeah, I think I'm a secret spender because I'm like, we're having a no spend week, and then Michael's like, why have we got TikTok shop parcels arriving at the front door?
They don't count. I don't think that's money. It doesn't count when you bought it off TikTok.
Exactly.
Yeah, TikTok and Vinted. I had to come off it because of that.
Vinted's free, right? Because I'm just going to put everything back on there. So in my head,
circular economy.
Yeah, Vinted is free. So this week we've got Vinted because I'm trying not to spend on budget flights.
I love how you're like, I'm not spending here, so I'm going to spend here instead.
Yeah, that's like the compromise.
Girl math.
But yeah. Ryanair hasn't got a sale on at the moment, so I'm on a ban. Yeah,
I love Vinted so much.
Wow,
amazing. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour. And it's also coming up Christmas, gang. So happy Christmas in advance, even though we'll speak to each other 6,000 million times between then.
Yeah.
See you in 10 minutes in the chat.
Yeah.
And we'll put everyone's links in the show notes as well. But Viv is Instagram. Oh, everything's just went really dark in here. / is yours?
They're
all one word, isn't it? There's no dots.
The
Hairdressers
Hairdressers Social Club. Yeah. That's it.
And Emma is Emma Fowler Hair, but we'll put them both in so you can go and, if you're not already, which is wild that you're not following them, but please go and get in the craft and go and make your own little group chats and tell us how it all goes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fab.
And so this is our last episode before Christmas, yes? And our next one will be just before New Year.
Yeah.
All right.
So happy Christmas, everyone here, and happy Christmas, our lovely listeners.
Bye, ladies.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments.
Please support those who support us and check out Timely, who we recommend is our favourite booking system for you. New customers can get 50% off their first 3 months with a code COFFEE50.